everyone, welcome back. We've got number today, we've got number sequences and using the nth term. So we have in the past spoken about number sequences, we've looked at how to work out what the nth term is, and now we're going to use that information to help us today. So if you haven't watched those other screencasts, then please go over there and watch those, because you'll have not a Scooby-Doo on how to do these if you don't do those. So what is a number sequence? I know you've done this before, but basically a number sequence is a list of numbers that are linked by a rule. Basically, that's what it is. We've got the nth term. So what's the nth term? Is a formula with n in it that enables us to find out the next number or any number in a number sequence. Here's an example here of a number sequence. So we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and 21. And we can see here that the rule that we've got is adding 3 each time. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. I'm sorry I went through that really quickly, but if you've watched the other screencasts, then you would have gone through that information. So what is a term? We've done this before as well, but here is our number of terms. So we've got first term, our second term, third term, fourth term, so forth and so on. So today we're going to be looking at finding the 10th term or the 100th term using the nth term formula. So here we go. Let's go through an example here for you. So here's my formula here, 3n plus 2. Now find the first 5 terms in the sequence. So all I'm going to do to find the first term is I'm going to take away or change this n for 1 because I'm finding my first term. Remembering that n represents the term you're looking for. So let's do the first one now. So 3 timesing by 1 plus 2. So other skills that you'd need to know well is substituting in algebra. Remember that 3 timesing by n, it's 3n is 3 timesing by n. So we're looking for our first term. So 3 timesing by 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So we're going to write that down in the line below. Now, in theory, I know that my term-to-term rule is 3. So I'm adding 3 each time. So my next answer will be 8. But I'm going to show you, let's say that if they asked you to find out the second term, how to do it. So we're going to replace the n with 2 this time because we're finding the second term. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 gives us 8. And we can see there that we're adding 3 each time. The next one would be, and we'll put that down there, the next one would be 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Plus the 2 gives us 11. We can see that we've added 3 that time. Let's find out the fourth term. So 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. So 12 plus 2 gives us 14. And we can bang that down. And last but not least, the fifth term we would put in and say 3 times 5 gives us 15. 15 plus 2 gives us 17. So we can see how it all works now, hopefully. Let's go in for a traditional question. Make sure you've copied all those out and you really, really feel comfortable with that. But just remember, the n stands for the term that we're looking for. So let's look at how we would do some of these traditional questions. Let's find the first 5 terms, then the 10th term in the sequence. So let's find the first term for a start. So I'm going to remember, take away this n and put in 1. So 2 timesing by 1 plus 10. Well, 2 timesing by 1 is 2 plus 10 equals 12. Now I know my term-to-term rule is plus 2. So all I need to do now is add 2 each time to get my first 5 terms. So I've got 14, 16, 18, and 20. But to find my 10th term, I'm going to replace the n with 10. Remember, the n stands for the term that we're looking for. We're looking for the 10th term. So let's write that down. 2 timesing by 10 plus 10. Well, if we know our BIDMAS, our BODMAS, we'd know we've got to do that first bit first. So it's 2 timesing by 10 gives us 20, plus 10 gives us 30. I'm going to do one more with you before I let you loose on the rest of the questions. Let's find the first term and then follow that by the first 5 terms of the next one. So we've got 3 timesing by 1 minus 2. So 3 timesing by 1 gives me 3. 3 timesing by 2 gives me 1. And I know it's going up by 3 each time, so I can write the rest of my numbers 4, 7, 10 and 13. Now let's find out the 10th term. So I'm going to put input in here, take away the n and input 10. So 3 timesing by 10 minus 2. 3 timesing by 10 gives me 30. 30 take away 2 gives me 29. 28, not 29. Okay, give this next one a go yourself, and then we've got one more page of glory before we move into the quiz. So give this a go, come back and see if you've got it correct. So very simply, we take away the n, we input 1, so 5 timesing by 1 gives us 5. 5 plus 5 gives me 10. It's going up by 5 each time, so it'd be 15, 20, 25 and 30. Let's find the 10th term, so let's take away n and input 10. 5 timesing by 10 gives me 50. 50 plus 5 gives me 55. So my answer would be 55. So here we go, everyone. There's a whole page for you to do. That second one's a little bit tricky because little tip for you, you might need to go into a negative number to start. But other than that, give it a go. This time you're finding the 100th term, not the 10th term, but the 100th term. Give them all a go, then come back and see if you've got them correct. Time to go over some answers now. First term here, we've got 3 timesing by 1 plus 10. So 3 timesing by 1 is 3, plus 10 is 13. Remember, it's going up by 3 each time, so your answers should have been 16, 19, 21 and 24. Let's find the 100th term. So it's 3 timesing by 100 plus the 10. So 3 timesing by 100 gives me 300. 300 plus 10 gives me 310. This one was a little bit more tricky, so it's 3 timesing by 1 minus 5. Well, 3 timesing by 1 gives me 3, but I've got to take away 5 from it. So 3 take away 5 gives me minus 2. But we know it's going to go up by 3 each time, so my first one would be 1, then 4, then 7, then 10. Let's find the 100th term, so it's 3 timesing by 100 minus 5. 3 timesing by 100 is 300. 300 take away 5 gives me 295. And last but not least, let's go over the last question, which is 4n plus 2. So remember, we're going to take away this n and input 1. 4 timesing by 1 gives me 4, plus the 2 gives me 6. I know it's going up by 4 each time, so my next answer is going to be 10. Then it's going to be 14, 18 and 22. Let's find the 100th term of that sequence. So 4 timesing by 100 plus the 2. So we've got 400 plus 2, which is 402. I know you've all been waiting for this. It's time for the quiz now. Give all of these a go. I'm sure you'll be absolutely bob on. You're going to find the first 5 terms and then the 10th term. Come back and see if you've got them correct. Remember, only do this if you feel really comfortable with it. If you're struggling, go back and watch the video again from the start, but I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. Okay, everyone, here is our answers now. So hopefully you've got all of these correct. Now you can see I found the first term here. I haven't actually done my working for the 10th term, but I think you know how to do that now. Hopefully you've done incredibly well. I'm sure you have. Anyway, as always, if you'd like some electronic versions of this, please contact me via the details below in the comment section. And you can always write out your own cards. There's nothing better than writing out your own cards. But if you want to make it a little bit easier, you can always contact me for some electronic versions. Hopefully you have done incredibly well. I'm sure you have. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure helping you with your maths today. Good luck and enjoy the rest of your evening or day or whatever you're going to do next.